let's talk about Bali real estate. First of all, we cannot guarantee anything. Nobody has a crystal ball, but I do have my predictions. After 23 years of living here now, I have a saying that I adopted in my first 5 years. Assume nothing and trust no one. When you hear that, oh my God, how can I do business like that? Quite simple. Only trust people that have credentials. And I have thousands of satisfied clients over the last 17 years of doing business here. Our company is pretty large. You can see this is our head office here. We have over 100 staff. This year will be our 15-year anniversary. So, how do we buy real estate? This is the one that really causes all the havoc in Bali. So much misinformation. I got to tell you honestly, until I married a notarist, I had lots of legal consultation from Australian attorneys, blah, blah, blah. But until I married a notarist who goes to conferences every month with the latest laws, I didn't really know what was going on 100%, but now I know. And she can help you, by the way. There's the ways you can obtain real estate. Now, obtain, notice the word I'm using, obtain, not own. Nobody owns real estate. We only get to use it for while we're here, right? The question is, what can we do with that real estate? If we're buying a home, we live in it. We enjoy it. So we're looking for that aspect. But if we're going to invest, we're only going to own it for a short time period. So we don't have to own it forever. It's hard for people to get that feeling out of their mind. You don't own it. You just live on it. You control it. So freehold, quite simply. And by the way, what triggered me to really get the laws properly is when this top notarist, who was the head of all notarists in Indonesia. How many notarists are there in Indonesia, honey? 5,000, 10,000? This is the boss of it. We had dinner with him. He said, we have clarified the laws, was the word he used. We've clarified this, so there's no more misunderstanding of what a foreigner can do. And I said, that's great, it's about time. Only Indonesian citizens can own freehold land with hak milik certificate. Anybody that tells you anything different than that, turn around and run. Don't walk out the door. Because they are criminal or stupid. One or the other. If you try to do a nominee agreement these days, what happens to the notarists? They lose their license. These notarists work very hard. 4 years in university, 2 years apprenticeship, and a lot of testing to get to be a notarist. You don't want to lose that. The new Hak Pakai law clarifies what happens here is a foreigner, the land is taken from the owner of the land, the Indonesian, it's given to the government and converted over to Hak Pakai, which means the Indonesian doesn't own it, the government owns it. And they're going to give you 20 years. And hopefully they're going to allow you to renew it again in the future. Several conditions. You must have a KIDS, which means a working permit, which can be sponsored by an Indonesian spouse, sponsored by an Indonesian PT or PMA, or have an over 55 retirement KIDS. One-time purchase only. You can't purchase a whole bunch of properties with this. Only one time. Valid for only land under 20 R, 2,000 square meters. So you can't purchase a big property. It has to be a home or apartment. It must be new. You can't buy a used home or apartment. Now, why do you think they put this law into effect? To help the Jakarta developers sell their apartments. Okay? So, you can sell the Hak Pakai to another person, it can be transferred to your heirs, removes the need for a nominee, which is illegal anyways. Banks may lend money. I've been hearing that they're going to lend money on this for 15 years, never seen one happen. Commonwealth Bank indicated, but I've never seen a loan lent on this. That would be great. If we had leverage or OPM in real estate here, guess what would happen to real estate? Instead of putting down $200,000, you put $20,000, what would happen to real estate? It would go right through the... Someday it's going to happen. Someday some banker is going to get smart and say, hey, I can earn 10% on real estate in Bali. Loans. And they're relatively safe. So, do I want that? No. I don't see any reason to do that. Only own the land for 30 years plus can negotiate another 20 years and possibly another 30 years. And you know that? 30, 20, 30. It's pretty well the same with everything. Do not see any benefit over Hak Pakai, especially the cost involved in getting a PMA is enormous. leasehold. If I went to 10 different attorneys and notarists 5 years ago and asked them, how long can I lease property? Guess what I would get? 10 different answers. Well, now the government has clarified it. You can lease land, any foreigner can lease land for 30 years, plus another lease for 20 years, and an option to renew for additional 30 years, which you can lock in the price, giving you a total of 80 years. Now, how many of you are worried about being around 80 years from now? Okay, so it's a long time. What's good about 80 years? Why do I want 80 years instead of 30 years? Because when I have 80 years, if I'm 50 or 60, I can go to 60 or 70 and sell it to somebody else who still can have 60 years or 70 years. You understand? There's a bell curve. The prices will increase to a certain point, maybe 30, 40 years, and then they will start to drop to only the value of what you can rent it for. You can make a lot of money in 20, 30 years. So it's important to do a due diligence with a professional Indonesian lawyer. We are offering a free consultation with my wife. They'll charge you 1 to 3%. Do not try to do it by yourself.